What's your name?
My name is actually Micah.
Another Micah. Here we go. Micah number 2.
Hey, so,
Hurry up. Let's do this thing.
yeah.
You got it.
Micah told a story about, I don't really know exactly what it was about, but it involved, like, Koreans and homeless people. And my name is also Micah, so I kind of, like, thought I would make
Yeah,
a
go get that video.
and tell a story that also involved those things, so, yeah. Okay, so, you guys see probably a lot of homeless people living in Houston, because, I mean, you know, they're just in cities. This is a city. And you probably also see a lot of them riding bikes around. And some of them are really dirty, disgusting, partially broken bikes. Things that I wouldn't really consider rideable, but it's like kind of their only means of transportation. And so I'm like the guy that fixes those bikes. I work at a bike shop that I run with my dad. And sometimes it's not pretty. It gets very dirty, and you know, they're not exactly the cleanest people ever, and even people in general tend to not take very good care of their bikes. They're very dirty, disgusting, and yeah. So me and my friend took some. Well, we made tea. And it's actually a really great way of consuming it because it like delays the effect, and I don't know, having trouble with it, like it makes you nervous. You can try that because it's more of like a gradual increase in, you know, how you feel. But anyways, yeah, we did that, and so we played some video games, and then my dad called. We were going to go for a walk, but as I was walking out the door, my dad was like, "Hey, hold on, I got a job for you." And I had to fix a bike, and my brain was a little bit impaired, so it was a bit difficult. And but I did it, and I managed, and it was hard, but you know, it was just a flat, something I've done dozens of times, so you know, not too much trouble there. But people have this thing they like to do when we're closing, where they come up and they ask us to do things for them while we're closing. And that was one of those days. In fact, 3 separate people, all were homeless. 2 of them, I believe, were probably higher than I was. So, yeah, very eccentric-looking gentleman with a BMX bike with gold rims, and yeah, he was a kind of a strange fellow. I don't even remember what he wanted, but he kind of just hung around there and talked about weird things that I don't really want to go into detail into. But yeah.
Yeah, Micah!
So a few minutes later, this lady. Oh yeah, no, okay. So sitting outside, leaning against the wall of the shop, was this black, like zebra painted bike, and it was the entire frame was just covered in grease and like black grime and some kind of like paint residue, because I guess she just painted it with spray paint or some kind of paint. I don't know what it was, but it was just, I mean, like, it was in horrible condition. Like, the cables were zip tied to the frame, and they were just like, the housing was just completely torn away. So you could see the cables inside. It was totally bent out of shape. The brakes didn't work. Like, and I had to fix it. And it was not fun. My friend who was there with me, and also on drugs, had to help me. So, yeah, fixing bikes is somewhat of a complicated thing. It's normally not that complicated when you're sober, but, yeah. Well, I'm not done yet. After we finished, so I had to fix the flat, and I had to put the wheel back into the frame, but the rear triangles were bent inwards, and so my friend had to come and like pull them apart, and I like had to push the wheel in there with like all of my strength, because it was just the wheel didn't fit the frame basically, but we made it work. We forced it. That's kind of what you have to do with stuff like that. It doesn't really work. But yeah, we finished that, and I was like, thank God the trial is over. I've been tested, and I proved myself, and I get to go on a peaceful walk around the neighborhood, and it's gonna be great. And then this gentleman who looked like his brain was in another universe approached the door. He was making lots of like weird hand motions like this, and looking in very like different directions. Like he was seeing things that weren't there, you know. He was kind of wandering around, and so he walked up to the door, and you know, I closed it and I locked it, and he looked in like this, peering in, like, is anybody in there? I don't know what he wanted, but we certainly didn't have it, and so yeah, I locked the door, and he kind of just sat there and like shuffled around and like knocked on the door a few times, and then he walked away. So yeah. That kind of stuff is actually kind of common, but you know, I was used to it. Things like that happening because I live in the Montrose area. You know, there are lots of people that are strange. So, but it's okay. Like, I like strange people. They're cool. Sometimes they're a little too weird though, or they're, you know, not in the right state of mind. But anyways. I'm normally able to deal with that kind of stuff, but you know, I was on drugs at the time, and so that like was totally freaking me out. And yeah, afterwards we had a pleasant walk around the neighborhood, talked about some stuff, just good vibes all around. It was a fun day.
Micah number 2. Y'all gotta tell me your last names so I can introduce y'all. You know.
Elo.
Huh?
Elo. G-I-E-L-O-W.
What? Wait. G-I-E-L-O-W?
Yeah, it's German.
German?
Yeah.
Auf Wiedersehen. All right. What's your last name?
My name is Micah 2 Chains Smith.
All right. Yeah, give it up for Micah though. That was beautiful. Love good bike mechanic humor.